of Rising Summoners League. Our first match tonight will be featuring teams Goodnight, Sleep Tight, and 67 Atoms. 67 Atoms still having yet to get a win this season as they
Goodnight,
look
Sleep
to hopefully
and
acquire their
67
first one
Atoms.
tonight.
Hopefully. They're up against a hard challenger, though.
I mean, that's just how we like it, though. That's how our team liked it. We went up against, the number 1, 2, 3 ranked teams. Granted, we lost 2 of those 3 matches, but hey, we won 1, so it didn't matter.
I mean, 67 ounce might do what we did and pull out some fun cheese.
Pull out the cheese, the Kled top, the Mordekaiser jungle. Tarek support MF80C. Too bad we had old Galio in mid, but there are comparable people who can replace old Galio.
If I see Mordekaiser jungle, I don't care what team it comes from, they're now my team for the season.
Ooh, tastes like purple. Get on it. Then he and I will be cheering for the same one.
Yeah, so now we're just waiting for the invites.
We're waiting for those invites.
So I missed last week. How did it go?
It was a very eventful 2 games that we were able to cast. 67 Atoms was on stream last week, but they did end up falling to our French-Canadian team, Equipe de Restes, and Tastes Like Purple was also able to beat Fifth Spectrum.
Alrighty.
Or no, excuse me, Super Square Senpai Squad, not Fifth Spectrum. I
Okay.
don't know where that one came from. Game lobby is full. Sean.
Good try now.
There we go.
Yeah, I was taking up the spot.
Man.
You're welcome.
Take my spot.
Grats. It's the grats.
It's the grats. Okay.
I did not realize that Sean was on this one.
I did not realize that Sean was on this one either.
Now this should be entertaining.
This should be very entertaining. All right, so Sean, here's the plan. Okay, Sparky, here's the deal. Our streamers. Yes. Yes. Alrighty, as we are waiting for them to get themselves sorted in the lobby and waiting for Champ Select, what do you think 67 Atoms needs to do in order to turn their season around, as they are off to a quite rough start of 0-6?
Oh man, yeah, that's a hard place to come back from. However, if they stick with it and just find the team comp that works for them, because that's honestly, if you have a comfort team comp and you play it for phenomenally, at most of these players' level, it doesn't really matter if it's the worst of the 2 team comps. However, the team they're facing tonight, it might just make a difference.
Maybe just a little bit. And certainly if I'm 67 Atoms and I've done my research, I would notice that their opponents tonight all love to play extremely bursty champions, things like Lux, Ari in the mid lane, along with Brand, people in the jungle who are just designed to beat the crap out of you and dive you, like Lee Sin and Hecarim, along with Rengar. And their top laner just loves super tanks, and their ADCs love to play bursty backliners like Caitlyn and hard carries. So if I'm 67 Atoms, I'm looking at either beating them at their own game and just wombo comboing the heck out of my opponents, or I'm looking to counter engage. I'm looking to disengage from their team fight wombo combo, spread out, and then promptly turn the fight around on them and just smash them into an oblivion.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like something that they're going to have to try to do with Good Night Sleep Tight playing a lot of burst. Then, yeah, that's one great way of countering it. Is just like, wombo combo. Try to get out of this. Or CC them to death.
The wombo combo pentakill!
Oh gosh.
Unfortunately, with 67 Adams, I was not. We did not see that out of them last week. We did not see a wombo combo composition. Now, that's not to say that 67 Adams is incapable of performing a wombo combo. It's just to say that I have yet to see it, and hopefully we will see something similar or as powerful out of them tonight.
So how likely do you think it is we'll be seeing either a Rakan or a Zaya?
I mean, last week we had a Rakan and a Zaya in the bot lane. So I'd say if teams are comfortable with it, it is a very high possibility that we could see teams picking up one or both of them. It is also highly possible that we could be seeing a Rakan ban, as I've seen more and more in my recent ranked games that Rakan seems to be the favorite to ban over Zaya because a Misfortune or a Caitlyn, which is what most people seem to main nowadays in the ADC role, along with Lucian, are all able to shut her down pretty early.
Yeah, and Rakan is like the Alistar, where yes, the laning phase is rough, but his potential for late game is extraordinary.
Absolutely.
Although, if what you're saying and Goodnight Sleep Tight loves their burst, Zaya is considered an assassinated carry, so
She is considered an assassinated carry, and I would not put it completely out of Toonzai's realm of possibility to pick, as he was very successful with her in ranked a few days ago. Although it looks like he will probably be defaulting towards the Zaya counters, as those seem to be his most prominent AD carries, and considering that it was 67 Adams last week to bring out the Zaya and Rakan bot lane.
I see. Okay. Well,
So
definitely.
definitely a high possibility of not seeing a Zaya out of 67 Adams.
Well, depending on how they feel it will treat them.
Yep,
Alright, looks like we finally got our last person in here.
Oh, magic happened. Good, good, good. Oh, well, that's a new top laner.
New top lane, you say?
Well, one of their subs, Dr. Nope, is their primary top laner, according to the website, but we instead have Gibba the Cancer Boss.
Yeah, give the Cancer Boss.
Oh, well, that summer name's not registered. Oh, that would do it.
Well, here we go in the champ select.
Oh, man. Oh, perfect timing. No. It's a summoner name change.
Really now?
I believe so. It is the exact same main champions from Dr. Nope to Give It a Cancer Boss.
Alrighty then. It's quite a name change.
Yes. And it is definitely a name change, as there is no Give It a Cancer Boss listed on their roster. So, there we go.
Alright.
All right, and we see the Lulu ban out first from the side of Good Night Sleep Tight, which is actually an interesting ban from them, as their support primarily plays Lulu.
Who are you expecting to see picked up by the respective teams in this match?
Oh, well, I would say that I'm expecting Ruktor, the mid laner, to definitely play either his Brand, Lux, or Ari, if his team is going to go the full burst compositions that they normally enjoy. And if that is the case, then I would assume that their jungler would be picking Hecarim, as that is his most played and most successful jungler, with a 63% win rate and a more than 4.0 KDA with 51 games. So very impressive stats there. Oh, well, good. I didn't want to see a Yasuo anyway. They know me.
Yes, or Rakan. It's great.
Yeah, it's great, but screw Yasuo. That I love everything you just said about that, except the Yasuo.
Man.
If you want to do that, do a Malphite or a Janna.
Man.
Nah. So did we have all of the bans lost on the side of 67 Adams, or?
Not sure, but they haven't banned either one yet.
All right. Well, we don't know the entire issue, but it is probably a loss of bans somewhere.
Would assume so, because why else would you give them up?
Because you don't want to play the game.
I mean, fair enough. But at that point, typically you spell
Seems you
something
left your
with your
brave
bans.
pants at home. Do you
Yes.
want me to wait while you
Let's
go
see.
get them?
LYP. Well, that's lip. I'm going to call it lip. And we do see the Poppy ban coming out, which is something that 67 Adams top laner did frequent towards last week. He does frequent towards the tanks, and his Poppy is one of his most played champions in ranked that has had success. So 3 very strong bans out of the side of Goodnight Sleep Tight, banning away that Lulu. Although, again, not quite sure why they would ban away the Lulu, as both their support and mid laner are very strong with Lulu. In fact, Lulu is the strongest champion on the side of Goodnight Sleep Tight for the mid lane pool, with a 9.0 KDA with 14 games played.
I'm just going to say this. Look in the Twitch chat for Dr. Nope, and he's explained it all.
Oh, he's explained it all. Oh, I see. I see. Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yep.
Very good, Dr. Nope. We do see the Lee Sin jungle being picked up first. A very strong pick.
No. It's Lee Sin mid, I believe.
Oh, it's Lee Sin mid? Okay, well, if it does go to the jungle, it would make sense, as that is one of Gay Sean's 2 best junglers.
I see. What's the other one's Hecarim, you said?
Yes, his best is Hecarim, his second best being his Lee Sin, although his Echo is also quite good. So
Ooh, Oreska.
we could see that Lee Sin mid like you want, and the Echo could go to jungle. Oh, 67 Adams going to do it.
Oh,
They got a Kled on the right
Reska.
side. All right, so Mordekaiser's got to come out now. He's got to come out to play, and he's got to go to the jungle. Rek'Sai's got to go top. Kled support, I believe.
Kled support, yep, definitely.
I believe.
Completely 100% right on shot calling right
Oh, it
here.
completely works. Completely works. If it doesn't work, we'll go back to our team. We'll find a way to make it work. We'll post the video.
There we go.
That's how we'll do it. And we do see the Jhin being hovered there on the side of Goodnight Sleep Tight. And that will be locked in. A very strong pick for Toon's Eye, as his Jhin has been played to a more than 50% win rate with a 4.3 KDA over about 30 ranked games. So a very strong pick up there for them. And the Darius as well, also a very strong, maybe not a strong pick by OP.GG standards for the side of Goodnight Sleep Tight, but a very strong lane bully for Goodnight Sleep Tight, as the side of 67 Adams, Kled, he likes to play the more tanky top laners, and this Kled is it's a little different for him. He doesn't have too many games on Kled, and I'm expecting that Dr. Nope, with his name change, is looking to punish that unfamiliarity with a high damage top laner. Oh,
Ooh.
please pick the Syndra.
Well, so
Pick
far
the Syndra.
you haven't lied to me about Goodnight Sleep Tight liking to pick high damage people.
And if we do see the Syndra lock, that will be a good counter-engage tool for the side of 67 Adams, and it will be a good counter-engage tool, as her ultimate will allow a very quick burst of somebody like the Jhin, who would like to sit on the back line. If Syndra can just stun her targets and then flash ult, that Jhin is going to find out that he is not the greatest sniper on the map. Although for the side of Goodnight Sleep Tight, noticing a very damage-heavy comp, attack damage
Yes.
comp. They're going to need a very large source of AP, and Brand would actually be perfect here to bring that AP. Either that or Lux would definitely bring the ability power spectrum back a little bit, forcing their enemies to not be able to win by just building 4 Thorn Mails. Talia. Oh, and an Ahri. The Talia support. Let it be. Let the memes begin. Let the memes begin. The Ahri lock. We're just waiting on the Talia. It's the Talia
Alrighty
support.
then.
Let the memes begin.
Well,
Good night,
you were
Sleep
talking
Tight,
about they
giving
need
me
the
what
AP,
I want.
and they picked up two strong AP sources.
Absolutely, and the Talia support going to be very strong in lane, forcing the Twitch to be extremely careful, as if he does dive too deep, Talia's rock field and tectonic shift will be able to put the Twitch in a very bad position, and the Thresh as well if they decide to lock this, as both are fairly immobile unless Twitch is invisible, and will be
Yes.
pretty easy prey for the Talia in lane, as she will just have to focus on hitting her abilities and not CSing. That will be the Thresh for 467 Adams. So, seeing all this, all of
Fuck or
this
nope.
absolute
Leave
insanity.
my bar alone. Yes, there is Edge there because it's Windows 10. So screw you.
Yes. Yes. So, now that you've seen the teams, are you excited yet?
I am very excited to see this game, although I have to give it good night's sleep tight. I think they have the better team comp.
I do agree with you. Unfortunately, I think 67 Adams, if they can run correctly, should be able to put up a good fight. They do have a lot of both engage, disengage, and even counter engage in the form of Kled Ultimate and Rek'Sai. You have three very strong tanks if Thresh gets tanky enough quick enough. Whereas on the side of Goodnight Sleep Tight, they really only have one tank in the form of Darius. But as we all know, Darius, when fed or even when even slightly ahead, he becomes very hard to kill. He becomes that tank that can replace 2 or 3 tanks.
Yeah, this is very true. And it could be a very dangerous situation to be able to for them to be able to charge the back line of good night sleep tight.
Yes, as you will have both. Well, you'll have 4 or 5 things that'll dissuade you. That Lee Sin going to be a very critical part of Goodnight Sleep Tight's team, as he's going to need to be able to dive the back line and insect or just solo kill that Syndra, as she will be a very large problem if she gets out ahead early. But Ari is a very good choice for shutting down Syndra early, as her early damage with her Q and her charm, as well as her ult, if she's able to get it first, will be able to help hold that Syndra down in lane. So again, 67 Adams, winless to this point. So they're looking to pick up their first win here. And with this comp, this might just be a match that they can do it.
Yep. Also going into this, so Goodnight Sleep Tight is currently ranked rank 2 in their group, with 4 wins and 2 losses, and they have the 5th ranked individual KDA, and that is Rooktar. So their mid laner out of all the players in RPL right now has the 5th highest KDA.
Mm. Very, very dangerous
Yes.
player to face in the mid lane.
Also, Goodnight Sleep Tight has beaten 67 Adams before.
Yes, they have. So also 67 Adams looking for redemption here, as this will be their will this be their last chance to beat their opponents? To beat
I'm not
Goodnight
certain
Sleep
on
Tight this
that
season?
one.
I'll look it up.
Yeah.
I got time. I got time.
Also, Goodnight Sleep Tight is the 4th ranked team KDA. So, as a team, they are also very good at securing the kills without giving up too many deaths. Ugh.
I do believe this will be their last chance to play.
All right, well, we can hope for the best for them.
Absolutely. And if I'm wrong and they do get another chance, well, then they'd still better win this time so that they can at least force a tiebreaker to see who's really better.
There you go. Come on, switch over for me.
Alrighty, and as we get into the load screen, well, I'm halfway into the load screen. I just have versus. On the blue side, with Good Night Sleep Tight, we have Gibby the Cancer Boss in the top lane, Gay Sean in the jungle, Ruktor in mid lane, Toonzai at ADC, and Zawa at support. And for the red side, we have 67 Adams with Seth 35, 69, 72 in top, Vroom Carnation in the jungle, Milk Squeezy in the mid lane, Darken 2375 at ADC, and Who's Logic at support.
So already liking the skins being rocked.
Oh, absolutely! I'm loving the skins on the side of excuse me, on the side of Good Night Sleep Tight. With that Dunk Master Darius, he's going to be looking to dunk on that Kled all game long, as well as the new Lee Sin skin, which I can say I am a fan of. Unlike the new Master Yi skin, don't much care for it because why did he need another skin? Like of all the champions, really, him and Teemo are the
It's
two
a
that
cool
need skins the
skin,
least.
I'll give it that, but yeah, Yi does not need another skin.
Put it on somebody else with a sword. Put it on like I don't know, Aatrox. If Aatrox had that skin, holy crap, that would have been amazing. Screw Master Yi and Teemo getting more skins. They don't need him. They need skins like the plague.
Yes, we all know you're very biased against them.
It's because they're stupid champions.
Okay,
And we have a
Zawa
pause
doesn't seem to be
as
loaded.
Zawa. It looks as if Zawa is not connected, as he did spawn in the middle of the fountain instead of around the ring with the rest of his team. So we'll most likely have a relog for that. And Lee Sin did confirm it for me. Zawa did not load.
Mm-hmm. Let's say we could start with starting items, but it's pretty standard.
It's standard all the way around so far. We still have, although Darius, Rek'Sai, and Talia. Talia gets a pass from this because Talia didn't connect, but Rek'Sai and Darius here to buy items in the first 10 seconds. They have to penalize you. No bans your next game. Getting a message from someone on the other side, where I must be.
There's someone on the other side.
Alrighty. As we wait for Zawa to load in, gotta say, I love Freljord Talia skin. That one we did not get to see in loadout, but I think that was honestly a great skin for them to drop with Talia.
Mm-hmm. I will agree with you that.
Unlike Aurelion Souls was not something that I was a fan of. I did not like the Aurelion Soul skin that dropped with his release. It just wasn't very different. It just turned all his particles red instead of blue. It's like, okay.
Well, Zawa is back, so hopefully we'll
And we
get this
do
match
have
started.
the resume. Alright. And as we resume play here. Oh, Darius, he's messing with me, man. Oh. Selling his Dorn shield to go for Doran's Blade. So he's going to be looking for some extra early damage against his laning opponent at the start of this match. Otherwise, fairly standard starts.
Looking for the invade, it looks like, from Good Night Sleep Tight.
Certainly does, and they may have spotted, Syndra might have just gotten a glimpse of Talia there, although since there was no ping, I can only assume that she just barely missed them. Oh, but they do see them now as Twitch was sitting in the proper spot. But hey, good tight. They have heard me praising people every single week I've been casting saying I wanted invades. Way to go giving me that invade. It wasn't successful, but hey, not every invade is. Very good attempt. Good job.
Yeah. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
All the mastery flashes.
Yep, and we have Syndra asking how everybody's doing, asking if we're having a good day. I'm having a great day, Syndra. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, plenty of friendly chat.
Ooh, what about $30 now? Somebody's gonna pay me $30? I'm all about it. Oh, Syndra got paid $30. Nah, Syndra. You gotta give casting a little kickback there.
Now.
We see standard leashes, bot lane leashing for the respective red and blue buffs, and heading straight to lane. It is a little weird that Darius chose to buy Doran's Blade instead of Doran's Shield. That is something that most Darius players don't, in fact, do. Normally choosing to get the early tank stats instead of the extra damage. But we'll see how it works out for him.
Yeah, he probably knows something about this Kled matchup that we don't, not being top lane players.
No, we are not. Heck, I'm about to start playing ADC, so I gotta pretend to know what Jhin does.
That's when we just pull Nathan in here, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Nathan with his Jhin mid. Any of you Jhin players out there who think you can beat Nathan, no, he will Jhin mid you to death. We see Kled actually gonna lose Skarl in the top lane.
Already.
This is a very bad situation for him. Not sure what he's doing. As that is going to be first blood to the Darius. Not sure what he was thinking there at all. On the wrong side of his tower, letting Darius get those 5 stacks on him. Oh, and we see Lee Sin counter jungling. Here we go.
Well, it's pretty safe for him with Kled being dead.
We do see the flash out of the Rek'Sai and the Lee Sin, as he will pick up the kill, but he will die for it. Giving the trade back to Rune Carnation. Holy crow. And in the bot lane,
gone again.
Jhin getting Twitch, and Skarl gone on Kled with Darius dropping pretty low too.
So
man, they are
all
just
buffs on the map.
They are just beating the crap out of each other. And not quite sure what you were doing there, Milk Squeezy. You definitely needed to respect that Ahri. Walking forward there, not your best option.
So, good night, sleep tight, showing why they're ranked second.
Absolutely, we're only 4 minutes in, not even 4 minutes in, and there's already 5 kills on the board. And the only reason that there's one for the side of 67 Atoms is because Lee Sin walked under turret. Because he wanted that kill.
But I got Skarl back, so we might try to fight Darius here.
Not sure that's in his best interest, but he absolutely could try.
Oh, he got us.
We do have a Rek'Sai game. Rek'Sai using the tunnel. And Vroom Carnation stealing the kill with Smite. Okay, feed the Rek'Sai, I guess. Get a super tank.
Guess so. The gank
Talia doing a good bunch of damage to Thresh as he face checks that river bush. Wow, the jungler's already far enough ahead that they both have their respective jungle knives. We have the Tracker's Knife on Lee Sin and the Stalker's Blade on Rek'Sai.
Still pretty standard buys from both of them.
Absolutely. Ahri, though, with her lead on Syndra, is up a lost chapter to Syndra's Amplifying Tome. So we will see Ahri pushing this lane matchup for at least for now, as she will have more mana and need to be far less worried about conserving it. Lee Sin is going to be... Oh, very nice, Syndra. Very good job, as she is able to E correctly to stop the gank. Yeah, to render Lee Sin's gank effective in providing pressure, but useless for picking up a kill.
Talia, like a good... Oh man, got Skarl back to instantly lose him.
Kled, you can't fight him this early. You cannot 1v1 a Darius this
I don't think
early.
he wants to. It's just Darius is forcing him.
Run away, little Kled. Darius gonna tower dive as he has ultimate. Yep, and that will be the end of Kled. And Darius will just barely walk away with that one at 180 or so health.
So yeah,
Man, this match moving very quickly.
Cancer Boss definitely knew the matchup when he picked Darius into the Kled.
Absolutely, and Darius with that back will be picking up his phage there, so he will be even more sticky on that Kled. And Kled, at this point, he's going to be unable to build his damages. He's going to have to stack armor to try and counteract some of this damage that he has now fed Darius.
Yes.
Out of the Jhin, we see the serrated dirt going down, so we will be seeing a lethality Jhin, as he is most likely heading for his Youmu's, which will offer them that early game insta-win, as well as 800 damage crits later in the game. So definitely an early game build. Not as powerful as the Jhin crit chance build for the late game, but does not look like Good Night Sleep Tight is looking to let this game go into the late game.
No, it definitely doesn't. No, I don't want it to end this early.
All right, sub 20 Good Night Sleep Tight, or you lose. Kled ulting there. Maybe a misclick. As we see Twitch using Flash to stop the Taliyah and Jhin from completely all-in destroying him.
Darius is gonna go pick up the control ward because not like Kled can really stop him.
And definitely not able to stop him. We see Syndra with a Negatron cloak, so it looks like she's going for an early Abyssal Scepter to stop this early Ahri damage. Not exactly something I can fault, although a Lost Chapter followed by heading for the Abyssal may have been more prudent, as Syndra is extremely mana hungry at these earlier levels. Also, Taliyah did pick up her Sightstone on her last back, so she is leaps and bounds ahead of the Thresh, who is instead choosing to build health and armor at the moment.
Oh, Darius probably looking for the mana for the ult to finish off the Kled.
Probably looking to finish it off, or he could just be very aware that the Rek'Sai was in the area, choosing not to tower dive for fear of being killed under tower.
Oh, Twitch almost falling to the Taliyah.
And we are going to see Ahri.
Ooh.
Oh, Syndra just barely, but Ahri will be getting the trade back kill. Syndra's ult there, showing why Syndra is completely unnecessarily overpowered, as her ult is able to turn that fight around from Ahri's easy kill to a 1-for-1 under tower.
Ahri has put that Morello Nomicon.
So she will be dealing those grievous wounds, and we do see the Fiendish Codex out of Syndra, so that is definitely an Abyssal Scepter, as that is all of the elements necessary, but she is unable to combine at this point, as she does lack the gold, as she is losing by almost 30 CS and a kill.
And Jhin getting some good damage off onto the tower into the bot lane.
Moving along quite well. All in all, the pace of the game moving extremely well for Good Night Sleep Tight, as I'm sure this is where they'd like to be, in complete control, pushing all 3 towers, up 3 kills, winning CS in all lanes, except for support, but that's because Taliyah versus Thresh.
Now, Thresh having that relic shield, of course he's gonna be getting some fun.
Lee Sin with his last back, he is behind the bot lane tower, and we will see the Jhin ult opening up. Wow!
Whoa.
First shot, sniping the Twitch. The 4th shot hitting the Thresh. All 4 shots connecting onto the enemy team bot lane. No chance for 67 Atoms to do anything about that. We see the Kled ult going down again. Skarl being lost. Darius flashing forward and getting the Kled there with that last Q. And the bot lane going to be getting the first turret. Unbelievable pressure from the side of Good Night Sleep Tight. They are just not letting 67 Atoms get a foot in the door anywhere as they look to take Dragon.
No, they are wanting to take their lead and press it hard. Ari ulting in the mid lane.
And that will be the Syndra flash as she uses the ultimate, but Ari going to be picking up the kill. Syndra, what were you thinking there? I understand that you're going to ult, but if you can't get the kill, you should not be. You have no business doing that, and that is going to be the flash of the Rek'Sai. But it's not going to be enough as Toonzai and Gay Sean going to be just cranking up the heat and just taking down the Rek'Sai as they now take mid turret. That is 2 of the outer turrets down.
It's only not even 12 minutes yet.
It's not even 12 minutes, and they've already got a Windrake. They've already got 2 turrets down. They're up 8 kills. They're still winning in CS in all lanes by quite a large margin in 3 lanes that matter, top, ADC, and mid.
Yes. Yeah. Good Night Sleep Tight is, looking to win this early and hard, just not letting up anywhere.
On that back, Jin was able to finish his Yomu's Ghostblade as well as get his components for a Zeal. So most likely going to be a rapid fire cannon out of him next. And we have the Kled.
Talia gank.
Using a nice dash there to escape the Jin W, as that would have most certainly spelled his doom if he had been stunned there. We have Twitch, excuse me. Twitch is splitting the bot lane, trying to get some damage down on that turret. Ari very quickly rotating down as the mid lane and support for 67 Atoms rotate up to try and catch out Lee Sin, but a quick ward dash will get Darius maybe getting caught out there, biting off a bit more than they can chew as they are going to 4v1 him. The Syndra ult, the Thresh taking the kill with his ult. Multiple ults being used there, only for 1 kill on the Darius, as we see Ari just pumping damage in big time, and the Thresh gonna have to flash to save himself there. Ari gonna be ulting to make up distance here, as she picks up the kill on the Thresh. Lee Sin gonna go ahead and ult the Kled, as he is going to lose Skarl. Jin gonna be putting down a very nice stun there, as Sean will pick up the kill with his Q and dash back to his mid laner for complete nutter safety. Well done there. Good Night Sleep Tight, picking up a ton of kills there, turning that 1-for-0 for Darius into a 2-for-1. Actually, make that a 3-for-1. Ari just kicking ass and taking names here, as we see the Jin ult open up. First 2 shots connecting onto the Syndra. The 4th shot as well. Unbelievable. Twitch, what were you doing there? Get in a line. Stay in a line.
Nobody
was able to block one of the shots.
Skill, being able to spread it around.
Oh boy, and Twitch in a very bad spot here, as Riptor going to become unstoppable, as Twitch he was caught between 2 groups of Good Night Sleep Tight and his turret. He had nowhere to go.
And Darius pushing the bottom tower.
Oh, absolutely. He's split pushing. He's going to pick up that inner turret. Never let Darius split push alone. This is how Darius has become unkillable. That is going to be Skarl gone, as Kled not respecting the art.
Right now, buddy.
That's going to be the flash as well. Ari still having 1 ult charge left. Not quite going to get it, as she looks to take that tower. She is going to get it.
With all outers gone at this point.
Yep, and an inner as well with Darius on that split push. Wow. We did see Syndra when she backed that last time. She did complete her Abyssal Scepter. She has gotten an Amplifying Tome. Not sure what she's building, but if I had to guess, it would be that I would guess she was building the Morellonomicon, as she's going to need that.
Then I think
Meanwhile,
that pick up the Rift Herald, which at this point, yeah, that's just giving that a little extra push.
yeah, just give that little extra push to that Darius there. Oh yeah, feels good. Darius actually having finished. Darius having finished Black Cleaver and Ninja Tabby. Kled getting his Ninja Tabby and a Phage. So he is very far behind the Darius at this point. 50 CS and 3 kills. Lee Sin did pick up
mid siege here.
Lee Sin did pick up his warrior for his tracker. Ari just dominating. Honestly, what was the Thresh thinking there? Really far ahead, completely away from his team. There was no hope for him. His team, however, making the right call when he was charmed and saying to just leave him, as there was nothing they could have done to save him whatsoever. He was gone.
Living up to his reputation of having a very high KDA, and at this point has like nearly double the gold throughout the game from his lane partner.
And we have Tutunzai now dominating as he picks up that kill on the Rex side. Oh my goodness. And that is going to be the flash kill. Tutunzai now godlike as he is able to pick up the kill on Twitch there at the end there with his Q. Darius still splitting bot lane. He is now onto the inhibitor turret with his minion wave. And they have to dispatch, 67 Adams has to dispatch Milk Squeezy to help clean that up. We have the Jin ult coming down. The first 2 shots are going to hit the Thresh. The fourth shot, excuse me, hitting the Kled. But Darius just going ham. Just taking names.
He's just going.
And Milk Squeezy's ultimate and the towers, quite a bit of help from the towers, gonna help Milk Squeezy pick up the shutdown on the Darius.
They're rotating for the Mountain Drake, because of course they need more pushing power.
Of course they need more pushing power. What kind of question is that? Lee Sin and his team, they are just absolutely demolishing at this point. Both Rookdor and Tutunzai dealing immense amounts of damage to their opponent's 67 Adams as they take the Earth Drake. Ari ulting forwards to hopefully catch the Rek'Sai.
Not quite able to get it.
But a quick Thresh Lantern will save his life.
So now they have set the Risingmost bottom inhibitor tower.
They sure have, and they are grouping as 4 pushing, while Darius looks at mid lane as he begins to walk up there to push that. Something interesting that I do see here is that Ari has bought a Hex Tech Gunblade. Not something that you often see on an Ari. And we have an all-in Reincarnation. Gonna force Zawa's flash there, as Zawa steps a little bit far forward. And we have the Jin ult going down, as Lee Sin's going to be first to take down Thresh, and then Jin with his 4th shot going to be taking down the Rek'Sai. Ari with her immense amount of burst damage going to be taking down Kled. That is a 3 for 0 under the inhibitor turret of 67 Adams. If you're 67 Adams, is there anything you can do at this point? I mean, you are
Good Night
19
Sleep
kills
is
down.
already knocking down your door, coming through your base, and it's not even 20 minutes yet. This is going to be...
And we have Ari ulting forward as Brooktor is going to go legendary as he picks up a double kill on both carries. Twitch going to be able to take down the Lee Sin, but I am absolutely positive that that Good Night Sleep Tight is okay with that trade.
This is their game. They're very happy with what they have.
We see Rookdur flashing forward to escape the Kled, but is going to be pulled back. This might actually be a shutdown here on Rookdur, and it will be, as the 3-man attack of the tanks. Oh my goodness. Could this be the 3-man kill for Tutunzai? Tutunzai gets 1, and he does die to the Kled. So Kled picking up a triple kill there. Wow, and getting multiple shutdowns that needed to be grabbed on both the Jin and the Ari.
Oh no, excuse me. The Ari.
Yeah, it was only a double kill. Vroom Carnation picked up the shutdown on the Ari. But Kled was instrumental in all 3 of those kills.
Riptar flashing a bit early and before the ult connected, so Clay got the free passage along with the flash.
Yep, he absolutely did. Not quite sure why Ari didn't start running away a little bit sooner, especially after hearing the Kled ultimate pop, and knowing that Kled ultimates have not been this game, as he has been blowing them for the most part point blank on Darius.
Yeah, so nice to finally see a long range one.
Yes, and it connecting as well. We do have Lee Sin. He did pick up his Black Cleaver. Darius picked up a Dead Man's Plate.
Ari has a Lich Bane.
Ari does have a Lich Bane. Kled did pick up his Black Cleaver as well, and he was able to get 2 more longswords. Rek'Sai was able to get Tiamat off of the Shutdown Gold. And
Talia
Syndra,
has RL, not Rakan.
yes. And Syndra actually having all 3 components of Merlinomicon, but once again not having the gold to combine for the item. We do see Lee Sin with Merc Treads, so he's going to be able to shrug off that little bit of CC that 67 Atoms do have. And we see the Jhin ult open up as this team fight breaks out on all 5. Saving 4th shot, he's going to be firing it. It's going to hit for Incarnation. Darius is going to be taking down the Thresh. He is also Ari taking down the Twitch, and Darius is going to be taking down the Kled, as well as the Syndra. That is an ace. That is an ace. That is Goodnight Sleep Tight, taking down 1 Nexus turret, the second to fall shortly. That is going to be game.
This is going to be a 23-minute game, it looks like.
And at 23 minutes, Goodnight Sleep Tight taking down 67 Atoms in game 1 of the night, 32-10, with an almost 20k gold lead. Absolutely phenomenal.
They played it superb and showing why they are ranked 2 in their group.
Just absolutely mind-boggling. The Ari and the Jhin just being able to pump so much damage into 67 Atoms' team composition there. I thought that maybe 67 Atoms would have been able to survive having 3 tanks in the Rek'Sai, the Kled, and the Thresh, but definitely not their best game by far. Something that was definitely something a miscue, if you will, or a problem that they had early was definitely when that Rek'Sai stole Kled's kill with the smite. Rek'Sai is not the person that you want the gold on. In between Kled and Rek'Sai, you definitely should have given it to Kled, who is in a very hard lane matchup against the Darius and was already losing it. Giving him a kill would have been great there instead of that assist.
Yeah.
So with that, 67 Atoms will remain winless at an 0-7 win record now. As they look to come back here in the near future.
So looking forward, our next match is Final Esports versus Above the Rest. So what are you thinking about that match?
Above the Rest, not living up to their team name. They're not number 1.
They're close. They're ranked 3.
They should be the very best, like no one ever was. But Final Esports, being number 1 in their group, and Above the Rest being ranked 3rd there, should be a very interesting match. Have they played each other yet?
Do not believe so.
Okay, so it should be a very interesting match then, as neither team is looking for redemption. They're both quite high up in the rankings, so it could go either way. Honestly, it could come down to who has the better draft phase, which would be nice. I'm expecting a lot out of Final Esports as I've watched 2 of their games. They've done extremely well every time I've watched them. They've been very, very calculated. They've been very coordinated. They've pulled off a lot of really good plays within their team, a lot of good team plays, a lot of dives and things like that. So Final Esports I have seen, and they've set the bar quite high. above the rest, I have not seen play much, if at all, this season. So definitely going to be looking to see how they do in this upcoming game against their opponents, the number one ranked team
Mm-hmm.
in Group B.
Yeah, Final Esports is also coming in with a 5-win, 0-loss record.
So above the
Probably
rest, there you
changed
go.
based
That's your
off
way to
the
win
first
glory.
match tonight, but we don't know that results yet.
That's your way to win glory above the rest. Be the ones on stream to put the first loss in the column of Final Esports.
Final Esports is holding a lot of records, though. They have the second ranked individual KDA and the fourth ranked individual KDA player on their team.
Oh, well.
So, yeah, they're bringing forward some very good players.
Well, then apparently above the rest's top laner doesn't exist. That's fun.
Good news, yes.
I'm going to go with another name change, and I'm going to hit myself in the face. Instrument. Well, that's an easy word. Finally, an easy name to type. Oh no, we have a weeaboo.
Oh.
Unagi. Oh no, and he's got Elementalist Lux too. Oh no. Oh no, is the weeaboo. Although we might see the Rakan. We have a Rakan player here.
Alrighty.
So there we go. That's weird. My computer is having issues with everything. There we go. All right, now we're just waiting for invites.
Yep.
I mean, there's not much else that we can say, as we've already seen Final Esports absolutely demolish their opponents every game they've played. So,
Well, we have some more stats. They are
oh,
tied with Tastes Like Purple for the most towers, dragons, and barons in their group, but they
you
solo
hear that?
hold.
Tastes like purple. Edge them out.
They also solo hold the most Rift Heralds and most less than 30-minute games.
Hear that? Tastes like purple. Do better. Nah, I'm definitely biased. Definitely biased.
Yeah, no, definitely can't tell.
Yeah, no one can tell. I'm a master. A master at deception. Oh, there we go. TSM Batman. Oh, well then. Apparently, as I get into the lobby and I'm finally able to start reading the chat, sounds like a poor Unagi. His team is bullying him. Well, let me just give you some advice there, Unagi. You are the support, and like Gavin and I, who have been supports before, you are the scapegoat. Everything can, shall, will, and always is blamed upon you, and you just have to suck it up and deal with it. You might have to pause in the middle for the delivery man. Guys, really? Pizza? I mean, honestly, yeah, I'm with Gavin. What kind of pizza? Okay, no pineapple. So what's on the pizza? This is a necessary delay, everybody. We have extra sausage. Okay, we're beautiful here. Necessary delay for pizza. As we wait for the rest of Unagi's team, it would seem, as all of we have all of the side final esports. Oh no, Unagi! You should definitely go and find your team. We don't want you to have to forfeit. 8 minutes until loss of ban, like one ban or like all the bans. This guy, am I right? Okay, Unagi. So Avoidant being the name change top laner. Man, what is with tonight and name change top laners? TSM Batman for MVP. Okay, Benny. Okay, Benny. Yeah, we know your tricks. Hi, Batman. Jungle is a scapegoat. All right, Chibi Tarasu. Nah, I hate to tell you, Chibi Tarasu, unless you are on a special team, never, never is the jungle the scapegoat. It always is always the support, unless your team just happens to like the support or the team captain is the support. Then the scapegoat is generally the person who feeds the most. Changey Mirai. Sign you up for Shoutcaster, huh? Hmm. I talked to Elucid about that. Don't talk to you ever again. Oh, you could break my head, Shibitarasu. You want to 1v1 me, mate? Ah. There's so much chat about pizza. Before you all make me call Domino's and order a pizza. Stop. Start this game. No, hide and win wall, you cannot get out. Please, casters, no flame. No, no promises. I will flame if I see a need. Basically, win the game. All right, no boat. All right, no boat. Target of flame has been thrown upon you. All right, finally getting into the banning phase here. In our second match of the night, Final Esports versus Above the Rest. All right, and in our once we get into the lobby here, we see Final Esports banning away the Fiora. Oh, and Above the Rest banning away that Yasuo. Very good job. Very good job.
Yeah.
Final Esports' second ban is going to be against the Gragas. That Yasuo ban is very good for Above the Rest against Final Esports, as you could probably guess, Hide and Windwall does like Yasuo, as does Minivan Dan. We also have a Zac ban and an Ari ban. Zac ban being very strong, as Final Esports does like their Zac. At least one of the two games I watched Final Esports play, Zac has been TSM Batman's jungler. We do have a hover of a Xayah on the side of Final Esports after that Lucian ban from the side of Above the Rest. And if the Xayah is locked here, Xayah is a fairly strong AD carry, and she will be locked. But that's not to say that she is, by any stretch of means, the strongest ADC out right now. And she does still have counters up. Caitlyn does counter Xayah very well, as does Misfortune, as both of their primary damage spells in their Qs do outrange all of Xayah's abilities, as Xayah's damage does come from her E, when she pulls back the feathers to herself. And if 3 or more of these feathers hit a champion on their way back to Xayah, they do give a brief stun and burst of damage to the champion hit. So Xayah definitely a strong pickup if the enemy team does have short range, but as a first pick, they could find themselves in a bit of trouble if Above the Rest do pick a lot of very quick dives or a lot of mobility champions or high range. Any of those could be used against them. TSM Batman here trolling me as he cycles through his champions at breakneck speeds. Hovering Annie at the moment. Above the Rest did pick up the Wukong and the Rakan. Very good idea for Above the Rest to go ahead and pick up the Rakan, as if Final Esports had been allowed to get their Rakan support, you would have seen some issues in that Rakan becomes very powerful when he is with Xayah. He becomes even more powerful than he currently is. Rakan would be able to pick up Xayah's W, which allows her to deal extra damage and gain attack speed. But when she has Rakan with her, Rakan also gains the same buff. So it's like giving an ability to 2 champions for the price of 1. As well as Rakan's shield radius, when he dashes to an ally and gives them a shield, is doubled when he is dashing to Xayah. So definitely a good idea to take away the Rakan from Final Esports, if for no other reason than Final Esports can't have a Xayah Rakan bot lane. We also saw a Yorick and Karma picked up on the side of Final Esports. Yorick, I have seen Final Esports use this, and it is a very strong pick, as Yorick does offer a lot of split pushing potential with the Maiden, as well as his Q being able to farm up a bunch of zombie ghost things. Basically, those minions are really annoying to kill. And we do see a Karma, most likely for support, being locked, as that does do well with Xayah, providing shields and a bunch of crowd control as well as slows. And on the side of Above the Rest, we did have that Caitlyn picked up. As I mentioned, she is a very strong counter for Xayah, as she does outrange Xayah and can deal a lot of damage quickly. And we do also have an Echo being locked, most likely for mid lane, but could also be for jungle. And we have a disconnect. Woo! Let's see what the problem was here. Nake's Ram, the support for the side of Final Esports, was the victim of an unfortunate client crash. So he'll get relogged and we'll get going again real soon. So back to those bans between Above the Rest as well as Final Esports and those picks as well. Both teams seem to be quite evenly matched at the moment, as we have very strong picks from both sides being acquired, as we see a lot of team fight potential on the side of Above the Rest with their Wukong and their Caitlyn. Going to be able to do a lot of good damage, and Wukong going to be able to offer an immense amount of peel with his dash and his ult, as he always does, which will be essential when against Xayah, as you will need a lot of peel if she does start getting really far ahead, so that when she ults, she can't immediately sacrifice your team and make them the victim of a 5-feather E. And we have blah, 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 blah. All right, we see in the chat there's a lot of questions being asked between both teams of Above the Rest and for Final Esports, asking if Udagi could have a filler pick. And we are hearing we are hearing that will not be a thing that is happening, as it does seem like the rules would prohibit a filler pick. But if I am incorrect, if anybody would let me know in the chat, But I do believe that that is the rules, that you cannot have a filler pick, as you need to keep the same picks and bans as you had before, so as not to create any unfair advantages. All right, it is no problem above the rest. Oh, well, and it looks like we're going to be the victims of a full remake, as we cannot seem to get Nake's Rim back into the game, as his game is not accepting invites right now. So we'll be changing lobbies real quick, and we'll be back. We'll be back shortly. All right, here we go. Attempt number 2. Well, here we are, hoping that it would have been a very short pause and a quick jump back into the game. And we are still waiting for 4 people to join the lobby so that we can get this thing going again. Hmm. Alrighty, up, maybe. Oh man, we are still having trouble from uh, the support on the side of Final Esports, as we are hopefully looking to start this game very shortly, but Nake's Ram still not able to accept invites. Hmm. Fear not, I will join your team. I am a support main. Ha 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 ha. I guess I'm joining up. Indeed, both casters are support names, and with Gavinicus having some mic issues, he would probably be the well, he's the one streaming, so it would have to be me. So I'll just, do click. Huh. Unfortunately, that's a no. I should probably not do that. Although the memes would be great. We can do Battle Royale. Alright, Unagi. 1v1 mid lanes, best out of 10. Ooh. Ooh. At that point, the casters have to be invited, and the casters can get points. Team RPL. If we win, you both lose. Wow, casters. Oh, Unagi, don't act like you can take the high road on this one. You're the one who's suggesting the Battle Royale. Oh, you think I talk shit about you? Well, here's the thing, Unagi. I talk shit about everyone. So, yeah. At least your pizza will get here before. Oh, well, that's true, no boat. Your pizza will get here before you play, but now it'll be cold. You know, share. Look at it this way. Oh boy, we're about to be explained how we're supposed to look at something. Triggered. We're in the next streamed game, so you won't be late to it. Well, there is that, Django. There is that. Pineapple on pizza is like milk, then cereal, then bowl. Oh my goodness. Perseus Pantheon. Hey, I have that one. Why ban? Yes. Well, I mean, okay, Batman. Okay, Batman. The Zack was a very obvious ban. You play Batman all the time. You play Zack all the time, Batman. All the time. Get stabbed top. Stabby, stabby, stabby. So if Nakes doesn't come back, is it a forfeit? I don't know, Unagi. This is a good question. I don't know these rules. It has been almost 30 minutes. An emergency sub? Da 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 da. I'll do it. For the good of the game. Why are the casters so brutal to you, Unagi? Because we can be. Who am I? I am a ghost programmed with all League of Legends casting and support playing scripts up through Diamond 5 material. So there you go. Geekzoid, don't be a weeaboo. Why not Diamond 2 no boat? It's because Diamond 5 is a much easier one. Also no boat, Challenger scripts, let's be real here. Challenger scripts would take up my entire CPU. I need something for the casting. I'll jump on their team at 9:30 if it happens, and I'll just say, go, 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 go. Why are we supposed to jump into another room that you can get into, Batman? It's a trap. I can go in there. It won't mean much. I'll be right back. And we're back. All of the questions about bans, it would seem, as we were trying to come to a agreement on what was happening, as Elucid was not answering Batman's frantic messaging. But it seems like what the teams have come to an agreement upon is that since at 10 minutes they would have lost one ban, at 30 minutes they have successfully lost all bans, and they will be trying to get an emergency sub, it would seem, is what it's sounding like, although they may still be trying to get Nyx Ram into the game. So hopefully we will see a resolution for the situation very soon. And finally be starting the game. Very weird that Nyx Ram has not been able to connect as he was connected and has since crashed and been unable to connect now for 10 to 15 minutes. Who is this Izank's character who is in the Platinum? And I do agree with my my friend Gavin, as he has also said that it sucks for Final Esports, as Nakes was here, but he has since been destroyed. All right, so we do have Izinks. He is going to be subbing into the mid lane. He is a gold 5 in solo, so this platinum 5 that you're seeing here is flex. So don't let that think that they are cheating in any way. So we do not have any cheating going on here, as it is solo queue that is being measured here, and we do have a gold 5 in Izinks. We'll be subbing to the mid lane, which will put Minivan Dan from the mid lane into the support role. And according to Batman, we will be having the same picks and bans up to this point, according to Elucid. All right. Here we hopefully go for the last time on the reset for our second match of the night. As we see Final Esports getting ready to play Above the Rest. Oh no, we have an argument breaking out. There was some agreement that I'm not aware of. The supposedly same picks and same bans are not happening. What is going on? You set me up. It's what Elucid said. Elucid came into our chat and told us. Holy crow, what is going on? There are many questions in stream, so let's get a... So are we not streaming on our computer? I am not streaming on my computer. It is Gavin controlling the stream right now. He's streaming from his, and I was disappearing from chats. Nakes is the support of Final Esports, but Nakes was unable to connect multiple times, so they did make an emergency substitution due to Nakes not being able to get into the game. So Izinks rotated in to the mid lane as an emergency substitution, pushing Minivan Dan into support. And they did lose the ban DJ by CH Noodle. they did lose all 3 bands as it was 30 minutes late. That is what they agreed upon. So we will see if all 3 bands are the same as they are arguing as to
No
if
cure for
bands
fools.
will be something that will have to be kept the same, as the Lucid came in and said that the bands needed to be kept the same to their chat after they had reached an agreement.
Well, now I'm just mad.
So it looks like the agreement is being
Yeah.
nullified by Elucid, as we do see bands coming through for the side of Final Esports up to the same point that they had in the last game.
You don't have the heart for this.
So yes, we do see all of the bans being upheld, the picks being upheld. The agreement was reached before Elucid weighed in on the situation, but he has since weighed in and said, no, this is how things are going to be. So that's what's going to be happening for the rest of this game, as we do see the same picks coming through in the Zaya for Final Esports, the Wukong and Rakan for Above the Rest. Next should be the Yorick, and I believe it was the Echo for their team, although I could be wrong. I think Echo was actually picked for the other team. That moment when you don't remember what they picked because it's been so long. It was the Karma that they picked. That's right. And the Echo was picked for Above the Rest with the Caitlyn, and now we're all caught up. So much catching up to do. All right, so if I am Final Esports, we do have a Warwick and a Galio being locked for the side of Final Esports. So that is a good rounding out to the composition. It is very attack damage heavy, though, only having 2 AP sources in that of Galio and Karma. Karma, if she does go mid, will be able to deal quite a bit of AP, so that should solve that problem. And Galio as well, also being a very annoying source of AP with his constant damage through his wing flap. I don't remember which ability that is. And for the final pick on Above the Rest, we do see a Rengar being hovered. If that were to be locked, then we would be seeing a very large lack of tankiness on the side of Above the Rest in comparison to Final Esports. And the same goes for the Kazakhs if they choose to lock that, as Final Esports do have 3 tanks, or 3 very tanky people in the form of Yorick, Warwick, and Galio, as they will all get extremely tanky. And we do see 3 not very tanky people at all on the side of Above the Rest. We see that Wukong could get tanky, and Rakan can get fairly tanky, although he's not typically built full tank. And we also see the Wukong, or excuse me, not the Wukong, the Echo can get quite a bit of health too. But as we look at the final loadout for the teams, we do see that Galio will be going mid for Final Esports, which should be a favorable matchup for the Echo, actually, as he does have a lot more mobility than the Galio and should be able to dodge a lot more of the Galio's abilities quite quickly, as well as gain a large shield. But the new Galio is extremely strong, and that can change. That can change very quickly. Winds of War, Galio's Q, the flap. So DJ Noodle, what do you call me? You can call me Left Aid, or you can call me Ryler. Either one is fine. There is an absolutely this game is behind D Heinzen 13. And there were a considerable amount of issues with the lobby. Man, Gavin, I'm answering questions and you're typing them faster than I can answer them. Alrighty, so looking at these two team comps, it looks like we have a very strong composition out of Final Esports with that Galio and Warwick and Yorick. That is a very strong and very tanky top half of your team, and a very strong and actually very easy to just run straight at you and deal a lot of damage front line. And on the other side, not to count above the rest out, we do have quite a lot of engage as well as peel from their team as well, with a Kha'Zix assassin and an Echo with lots of damage, hopefully, as well as a Caitlyn. And that Rakan quickness is going to do a lot in the line of setting up good ults for both the Wukong and the Echo. And it might even draw targets out for Caitlyn to snipe. Feeling when the man noodle. Alrighty, with just under a minute left before we get in game, I'm just going to throw out a prediction there. As good as the composition of Above the Rest looks, I'm going to have to give my first overall initial impressions for draft phase to Final Esports, as their composition does seem to be a lot more well-rounded and have a lot more stand through all of your damage and then blow you the heck up potential. Only 1.5 minutes late. I wish. 40 minutes after the game was supposed to start, we are about to get into game. Heck, this game should be almost over and we're just about to start. Oh, he means me? Well, you know, whatever. The Rivington shoutcasting hype? Oh boy, alright. Well, I would get extremely loud and extremely hype, but I am in a college dorm room at the moment, and it is finals week, and I will get a $150 fine if I'm too loud. So unfortunately, that's not going to be an option. But I can get a little more hype. I just can't get much louder. So it'll be like that whispering roar. Oh my gosh, they're getting a pentakill. That sort of thing. I appreciate the condolences. As we get into the loading screen, we are going to see, for the side of Final Esports, Hyde in Windwall on Yorick in top lane, TSM Batman on Warwick in the jungle, Izanks in mid lane as Galio, Django Ultimus as Zayed ADC, and Minivan Dan on Karma at support. And for the side of Above the Rest, we will have Avoidant in the top lane on Zoid, on Kha'Zix in the jungle, Instrument, who will hopefully be instrumental in his team taking down Final Esports in the mid lane on Echo, No Boat at ADC on Caitlyn, and Unagi at support on Rakan. And as we get onto the Rift here, maybe. There we go. We see very standard item starts for everyone on both sides. Actually, for Warwick, something a little different there. He is taking Hunter's Machete and a Rejuvenation Bead instead of potions. Not sure if that was intentional or a mistake, as he does not have any health potions for his jungle clearing. We'll see how that works for him. But with the Warwick passive of getting lifesteal for hitting things, it probably will work pretty well for him, as he won't feel much need for potions with his extra health regen, hopefully. We do also see Echo choosing to take the Dark Seal instead of the Dorn's Ring. So Echo definitely looking to get some kills there.
That's the standard Warwick start.
Well, yeah, I'm sure it's the standard Warwick start. I realized that after I remembered his passive.
Block the hits for me. please?
Alright, and we have both top laners going to be taking a corrupting potion instead of any starting items. That seems
Minions have spawned.
fairly standard for both of them, especially Wukong. Alright, and although it did look like Above the Rest was thinking about an invade with their 4-man alignment near the jungle, they did not end up following through with that. They may have also been looking at a counter invade in case Final Esports decided to invade. We see very standard buff starts for both sides. Kha'Zix picking up his blue and Warwick his red. As we look at, just early trades in the top lane, avoiding getting some good damage down on the Yorick before he can get his little ghoul minions. And speaking of those little, wow. Speaking of those little minions, Yorick able to pull 3 of them up right away, and using their damage to pick up a solo first blood on the Wukong. That Wukong not entirely seeming to be prepared for the amount of damage that Yorick's minions do early, and he teleports back and almost dies again as he just goes straight down to half health. Oh my goodness, dropping... Oh, and Echo in the mid lane dropping very low as Echo does use Ignite. He might get the trade back on the Galio, but it looks like he won't, as Galio will just survive with his health pot. Both mid laners using their Ignite there, but in the end, Galio going to be the surviving party of that mid lane fight. York dealing very good damage to the Warwick, keeping a very controlling lead in top lane. But we do have Kha'Zix lurking there for a gank as he comes in from behind. Yorick going to be just flashing out of there. He does throw down the mist to try and slow them down, but it will not be enough as Wukong is able to flash forward for that kill. Very good job there on the Kha'Zix, getting there and ganking at the appropriate time. We do see Warwick. He is on the dragon at this point in the game, as Warwick can 1v1 the dragon at very low levels, as he smites it for health, due to the fact that Above the Rest has no idea that he's doing it. That dragon dropping very low, and it looks like Warwick will be picking that up for his team. As an early Mountain Drake going to the side of Final Esports. In bot lane, Xayah is just barely out farming the Caitlyn, but Caitlyn doing a good job of keeping both the Karma and Xayah at bay with her traps there. Meanwhile, topside, Yorick dropping the Wukong extremely low, and in fact turret diving, Wukong diving back in there. That is going to be Yorick picking up a kill there. Kha'Zix going to be jumping in to try and make a difference there. Uh-oh. Kha'Zix going to be forced to flash there as Yorick nearly picks up the double kill there. Actually, he is going to probably be looking for that double kill as he chases Kha'Zix almost to the inner turret, but deciding to back off and let Kha'Zix leave and limp away with his life. Wukong picked up a Vampiric, has only been able to pick up a Vampiric Scepter, whereas Yorick almost has a completed Phage. Decided to back here, would probably be able to complete it at this point. Warwick, only having backed once, has not finished off his Hunter's item yet, but once he does, he will most likely pick up his Stalker's Blade, which is what Kha'Zix was able to do on that last back when he limped away with his life from the Yorick. Meanwhile, in bot lane, Caitlyn is starting to be able to shove the Xayah Karma back a little bit. As we see in mid lane, uh, Galio has at this point picked up 2 kills on the Echo. He was able to pick up a second kill against him. Galio doing very well keeping ahead in this lane, as he has a very small CS lead of only about 10. And Kozik's going to be trying to gank. He is going to be taunted by the Galio, dropping very low there. Almost falling to the amount of power that Galio has in lane. A very large lane bully. Galio. New Galio even more so than the old one, as he is able to provide a lot of sustainable damage that just becomes harder and harder to deal with as the game goes on. And Galio will back, and he will TP back to his lane after picking up his Haunting Guys. Meanwhile, bot lane, just a bunch of trading going on as Rakan and Karma trade blows with each other. Warwick did back and was able to pick up his Stalker's Blade as well as a longsword and his boots. Yorick was also able to back and pick up his Phage and almost his, looks like he's going for Berserker's Greaves with his boots and dagger there. Meanwhile, in bot lane, still no one having backed, not wanting to give their opponents any advantage in lane whatsoever. Xayah still holding about a 10 CS lead over the Caitlyn. Echo was able to back, and he was able to get a Hextech Revolver for himself. So most likely going to be heading for his Proto Belt in the near future. We do see Kha'Zix sweeping for vision around the mid lane and not finding any, as he won't. As the only ward in the top side is up in that river for Yorick in his top lane. We do see Yorick. Warwick using ult there, not quite hitting, going to be stunned under turret as TSM Batman going to be falling to Instrument. And meanwhile, in the top lane, Wukong going to be ulting, but it's not going to be enough as Yorick's Maiden was able to take down the Wukong. Wukong going to be flashing there to try and escape the Maiden's damage. And most likely he will escape the Maiden's damage, dashing out to try to save his life. And he will be able to do that for the moment. We have Echo taking a lot of damage from the Galio, barely walking away with his life. Galio initiates a very profitable trade. Wukong actually going to be hitting the Yorick under turret. Yorick, not sure what Wukong was thinking there. At only 300 health, you cannot win that fight under turret with Wukong. The Yorick is up 4 kills to your 1 and is fed. And his Q will deal about 200 or 300 damage base, and you have 0 armor. So definitely not something that you want to do, even under turret, as Yorick at this point in time. While all this was happening top, Wukong does use teleport top. While all this was happening top, bot lane was able to back, and Xayah was able to pick up her BF sword, as well as 2 long swords, so most likely heading for Essence Reaver. And Echo, with his smite his ignite, is going to be able to pick up a kill onto Galio, as well as Xayah, or Kha'Zix being able to pick up a kill on Warwick, but then Xayah going to be able to trade it back on Kha'Zix using her ult. We do see Yorick TPing to that control ward to stop the Wukong from taking that down. Wukong, you should definitely leave that control ward alone. Yorick is right behind you, and he is not slowing down. Yorick, during his back, was able to pick up a Sheen. Warwick, with his death, is going to pick up his Tiamat. Galio, with his death, was able to pick up his Sorcerer's Shoes, as well as an Amplifying Tome. Caitlyn, during her back, was able to pick up a BF Sword and Brawler's Gloves, so most likely going to be heading for her Runaan's Hurricane. Or at least her Zeal. And Echo, with that kill that he was able to pick up on Galio, was able to back with his 4 stacks on Dark Seal and buy his Proto Belt. So a lot of good buys going on as we see Kha'Zix running down the bot lane, getting some good damage down on Karma. Oh, and we see an engage happening. Warwick ulting, stopping the Rakan knockup. Galio ulting to stop the Rakan's escape as TSM Batman going to pick up that kill on Rakan, and they turn to Dragon. Galio going to be running mid to slow down that Echo push. We see them pinging the Dragon very frantically, but it's not going to be enough as TSM Batman is able to secure that Dragon for his team. He will be dropping very low for it, however, as the Galio and his team, Final Esports, turn and take the middle turret. This is the second turret of the game as Yorick has already taken top's outer turret and is shoving into the inner turret, because that's what you do as Yorick, you split push. Caitlyn going to be used there, trying to hit the Xayah, but the Karma going to be getting in the way. The exhaust going to be used on the Karma as Kha'Zix picks up the kill. We do see a gank happening top lane as the Echo is going to be shutting down the Yorick. Wukong ult was used there. So a very, very good kill there. Echo now with 6 stacks on that Dark Seal as he begins to get that. That's going to be a power spike soon in his direction. If he can keep on stacking that Dark Seal as he looks to build his Sheen, as he picks up his Mana Crystal, as well as boots. We see Yorick has actually completed his Trinity Force with that back, so that's a very large power spike for the Yorick, and he will be a very scary person when he gets back to lane against the Wukong, who is able to use his back to buy a Tiamat and Kindle Gem. We see Warwick going for Cinderhold for his Bomby Cinder. Xayah going to be ulting there to save, as well as deal quite a bit of damage to her opponents, as TSM Batman also going to be jumping in to save their life. TSM Batman going to be picking up that kill on Rakan. Very good use of her ult by Xayah to save her life, as all three, as both the bot lane and the jungle of Above the Rest jumped on her to try and force a kill. And we have Echo engaging on the Galio, but Galio, as you know, deals a lot of damage and does not take kindly to trying to be Echo stunned, as he was able to dash out of that and definitely win that trade, taking Echo down to just under half his health. Now we see Yorick heading bot lane, as well as Final Esports bot lane heading top, so we will be seeing a lane swap there, as Yorick will be trying to shove in the bot lane to both take that turret and slow down the bot lane, and hope to get their Xayah rolling a little bit more, as they will be in a 2v1 situation against a Wukong who is behind. We have the Galio ulting in to save the Karma from the Echo, and we see actually three members of Above the Rest charging the Karma. Isaac's going to be able to pick up a kill on the Kha'Zix. Very, very good job, and TSM Batman going to be able to kill on the Echo. As Mr. Hide in the Wind Walls Yorick going to be doing a little bit of a laughter spam there, as he is able to push in the enemy team's bot, or Above the Rest's bot lane. Meanwhile, we see a 4-man push happening mid for the side of Final Esports, as they're going to be picking up that inner turret quite well, as the Yorick, not quite sure what Above the Rest's bot lane is thinking here. They should definitely be rotating towards mid, or at the very least backing up, noticing that that all four of the other members are missing. As TSM Batman going to be picking up that kill on Caitlyn, And Hyde in the wind wall going to be picking up that kill on the Rakan as they turn to Wukong. And there is the Echo. He will be shutting down TSM Batman. Hyde in the wind wall, going to be picking up that second kill on Instrument as he tries to run away, minimize damage. We see the Xayah going to be saving her support as Wukong and Kha'Zix look to chase down Hyde and Windwall for that kill. Hyde and Windwall just going to be keeping on running. It's going to be very hard to get him. He might, in fact, be going for the execute. It does not look so. He is going to get away as Izinx is there to come and save him. And he's, in fact, going to be killing the Wukong as Wukong, not at all respecting the Galio, knowing that he was there due to their control ward up by Red. Not at all respecting the Galio, trying to clear a ward and getting himself killed for it. Kha'Zix was spotted out in the jungle of Final Esports, and he is going to try and escape, but that probably won't happen as he tries to ult out. But Warwick will be hunting him, chasing him down, but be unable to get him. However, Izinx is here, and a turret dive is possible, but it looks like above the rest is just going to Final Esports damage and just give up this turret. Probably their best move here, as they are very far behind and they cannot fight 2v3 by any stretch of means. We see Final Esports turning to look at this dragon, as it will be their second Cloud Drake. One Cloud Drake does not often do much for teams, as 25 movement speed is not a lot. But definitely once you start getting 2 or 3 Cloud Drakes, it starts becoming worth your while as you start getting plus 50 and plus 75 movement speed. And for our 4th Drake, we will be seeing a 4th Cloud Drake, which will be increasing this team's movement speed by a ton if they are able to acquire it. With all of these backs that we've been having, we have had the York able to pick up his Tiamat as well as his Mercury Treads, and he looks to be heading for another Phage as he has a Ruby Crystal and a Longsword, so probably going to head for his Black Cleaver there. We have Wukong finishing off his Ravenous Hydra and picking up boots finally. We have Warwick picking up a Spectre's Cowl as well as the Boots of Swiftness and combining for his Cinder Hulk enchantment. We have Kha'Zix picking up Merc Treads and finishing off his Stalker's Blade with his Warrior attachment. Galio, meanwhile, has been able to acquire his Leandries, his Sorcerer's Shoes. He had already completed. And he has just now finished buying his Rylai's Crystal Scepter. Echo, meanwhile, has a Sheen and an Aether Wisp, so he is most likely going to be heading for a Luden's Echo. We have Yorick fighting Warwick in the jungle over some CS, and he will be summoning the Maiden to try and help take this tower. We do see Echo roaming top lane to try and do something about that. But the Maiden almost taking down the Wukong there, and the Echo going to be trying to take down Hyde and Windwall and almost doing it, but the Galio ult as well as the Warwick ults are going to be enough to force the Echo ult and save his life. Meanwhile, in bot lane, they are pushing for the inner turret, but they do have 3 people down there. Rift Herald going to be returning to the Void. Xayah attempting to get the Kha'Zix and almost doing it. Redemption going to be going down for the side of bot lane, as Django Ultimus is going to ult and pick up the Caitlyn. Karma picking up the Rakan as they take down that inner turret. Wukong did die in the top lane in the fight. And we have the inner turret for bot lane falling, and we have the inhibitor turret falling for top, as Isaac's going to go ahead and pick up that kill on Echo. Echo unable to really do anything as Warwick ulted him, and then Galio taunted him. Kha'Zix trying to stop this inhibitor from going down, but he's just unable to do anything, as Isaac's took the kill, and the bot lane inhibitor tower and inhibitor are also falling. This is going to be 2 inhibitors for the side of Final Esports. And Galio going to be taunting 3. Going to be picking up the kill on Rakan. Wukong going to be shutting down the Galio, a very much needed shutdown, as Galio had been getting very uncontrollable. But Yorick is going to be able to rotate to the mid lane and take down that inhibitor turret, It's absolute chaos for the side of Above the Rest, as they are just unable to stop Final Esports comps pushing power. And Final Esports looking to back by and reset, as Yorick is able to pick up a Titanic Hydra. We do see Wukong has completed Ninja Tabby. Kha'Zix picked up a Kindle Gem and a Longsword, so probably heading towards a Black Cleaver. Warwick has picked up a Spirit Visage with his Spectre's Cowl, and has also picked up Jorum's Fist. So most likely looking at, oh, all these MIA pings are throwing me off. We do have the side of Final Esports taking down the Baron very quickly, as 4 members are on it, and it is burning down quite quickly. That Earth Drake helping them a lot. And just as Above the Rest is able to ward, it goes down. We do have the Echo Ult being blown because of the Gallia's damage, and TSM Batman is going to be picking up that kill extremely quickly. Rakan dropping very low that fight as well. He was able to flash out of there and escape. We do have Warwick, however, hunting the Rakan, empowering himself up there, as he is able to fear the Wukong and just make him back off, as Baron-empowered super minions from 2 lanes have streamed into the base and are punching down those Nexus turrets. That is going to be the 3rd inhibitor falling. There's going to be 1 Nexus turret falling. There's going to be 2 Nexus turrets falling. They are onto the Nexus now. Wukong trying to stop them, but that's not going to mean much, as Yorick is able to just melt him down. Izang's able to take down the Rakan. That is going to be the game. Another 23-minute game going to the side of Final Esports, up almost 17k by the end of that, winning in every lane by an amazingly high amount. Unfortunately for the side of Above the Rest, they are not going to be able to take down the number 1 seeded team on the side of Final Esports, but Final Esports has proven why they are the number 1 in their division, or in their group, excuse me, taking a very, very commanding lead and being able to defeat Above the Rest so spectacularly. I mean, in fact, they had all 3 towers at near perfect condition, all 3 outer towers. So Final Esports losing not a single objective that entire match, while Above the Rest losing absolutely everything. So a very strong game out of Final Esports. A very well played game by Above the Rest, trying to slow down the power that Above the Rest was able to accumulate. So that'll do it for the second match of the night, and we are going to head straight into the third match of the night, which will be featuring Final Esports once again against 6 Longswords. Now, 6 Longswords is actually the number 1 ranked team of Group A. So we will be seeing both number 1 ranked teams fighting each other in this game. However, while Final Esports has yet to lose a game, Team 6 Longswords has lost 1 game. This 1 game was to Final Esports. So definitely going to be looking for redemption here on the side of 6 Longswords. As if they are able to win here, then both of our number 1 ranked teams in either group will have only lost to each other. So definitely going to be an interesting game with hopefully a lot of strong plays on each side. Hopefully an invade in the jungle. Batman, I'm counting on you, so you better get her done. It was a good game, but where's the Talia support? Well, Zawa Talia support is not something for everyone. It's a very hard thing to play. You get to be unique. All right, as we wait for the teams to finish their last preparations of Final Esports versus Six Longswords, I personally cannot wait for the game, as it is pitting both number one teams against each other. And we will have Nakes Ram back in the game with us, so welcome back, Nakes Ram. And apparently, Team Six Longswords will not be banning at all this match. All right, so Team Six Longswords will not be banning this game. I am not entirely sure of the reasons why, but they will not be banning, as Yesmosis has decided to tell us. And Final Esports will most likely be banning, as they have Nakes Ram and everybody back. So we should be seeing a very good game. I'm gonna hit that follow up. All right, Isaacs. Sorry, Zawa. Talia's not for everyone, but Talia is for me. I will play it if I feel like I want to, and feel a little wall action coming on. They have 3 emergency subs. Ah, well then. Alrighty then. So Six Longswords having 3 emergency subs, so they won't have any bans, as I'm being told. So that's absolutely all right. So hopefully a real good game with these emergency subs being put into place. All right, and as we jump into our banning, or excuse me, the draft lobby here, we see the Kled immediately being banned away by the side of Final Esports, probably not wanting to risk the Wombo combo super heavy engage, and not wanting to risk first picking it, which is probably the same as their reasoning with Fiora in the last game. I have to say, I do like Hold My Juice Box's summoner name. It's the most redneck thing a child could say.
I'll come back stronger.
And we do see the Gangplank? What? Why was a Gangplank? I thought they had lost bans. Alrighty. So a Gangplank was banned on the side of Six Longswords, and Gnar being banned on the side of Final Esports almost immediately. Definitely seeing some targeting going on here. As we have a leave, I'm guessing it is because of the fact that they banned when they weren't supposed to ban. Uh, DJ, my computer is probably good enough to stream, but Gavin has all of the equipment already set up as well as all of the downloads, so I just let him run it. If it came down to a day where I needed to put the programs on my computer and run the stream, I could probably do it, but as long as Gavin's around, it should be fine. Zawa giving away bad info. Apparently, it's all right, Zawa. So it was 67 out of 3 subs. Okay.
Jawan knew you was all yellow.
Alrighty, DJ. Well, thank you very much. I will keep that in mind. Maybe next week I will have everything set up. Hopefully, fingers crossed. All that other good jazz. As we get back into the banning lobby, we have Kled being banned away. We should be seeing no ban this time. No ban this time. And we will see the Nar ban once again.
Shut your mouth.
Oh, and now comes the waiting game as we wait for all of the ban timers to time out. And for the last ban on the side of Hyde and Windwall, we do have Warwick being banned away. So very obvious targeting happening towards the top lane in the form of Kled and Gnar. But the Warwick is more of a jungle pick, but can be played top lane. Definitely 3 strong characters in the hands of Hold My Juice Box, as well as Foley in the case of the Warwick. So yes, they do not have bans, Benny. We don't know why. Because yes, Moses told me before the start of the game that they would not be banning at all. On the side of Final Esports, we do see Renekton being the first pick, so definitely, first picking their top laner there, picking a strong carry type top laner, much like the York of last game. And we do see on the side of 6 longswords, we do see Ivern being locked in, so we will be having the tree in the jungle. The question is, will we also have the tree in the top lane? Against a Renekton, most likely not, as Renekton does tend to destroy Maokai. And instead of the tree, it looks like we will most likely be having the rock in the top lane, as Malphite is being hovered at the moment. And that will be locked in for the side of 6 longswords. So Malphite and Ivern being picked up there. Oh, I can't tell what they're trying to do at all, other than maybe Wombo combo. Mm-hmm. TSM Batman picking up his Zac there. So, very strong pick for the side of Final Esports in TSM Batman, as he is very comfortable on his Zac. And we are seeing the Orianna will be locked in for Minivan Dan. As well as, yes, Moses hovering Yaswo. My man, yes, Moses. All right, I respect an echo. I respect an echo. Just don't you dare lock in that Yaswo. I don't like Yaswo. No, no, don't hover Yaswo. Don't do it. Don't do it. It leads to heartbreak. It also leads to a very AD heavy composition, which you don't want. You want the ability power. You want the ability power. This is all you're thinking about at the moment that I am speaking to you, is the ability power. Don't you do it. You're still hovering yes, well, this is perplexing. Good, very good. Syndra being locked on the side of 6 long swords. So I'm very happy that it is not a Yasuo. And Lucian also being picked up for their ADC. And we see a Twitch and a Zyra. Whew, talk about a scary bot lane being hovered on the side of Final Esports. Twitch Zyra, that is a brutal lane to play against, as they just have tons of damage, constant poke. It just becomes a nightmare to deal with. It's one of those things that you would just rather not have to deal with if you can at all avoid it. Right, it will most likely be the lock of Final Esports, as that would be an extremely well-rounded comp with a Renekton or Zac dive with an Orianna ball, followed by a Twitch ultimate. Although a Karma would do well, would be a good choice here. Leona would also be a pretty good pick, and that will be a Leona lock, so gonna instead invest in the tank line. So gonna invest in the tank line. We have a Varus being hovered here. Haha, very funny. Pandemonium, but you're probably not gonna pick a Varus support. Can we play some music while selecting champs? Dr. Nope. I mean, I could try, but you'll have very, very feedback sound if you want me to do it. We see Brand being hovered, but it will be changed over to Blitzcrank, so we will be seeing the Blitzcrank come into the bot lane for 6 longswords. Yeah, so looking at the drafts, seeing both Final Esports and 6 longswords, I'm not quite sure who I would give it to off of the end of draft phase, as we have a lot of burst on both sides. I feel like Syndra should win a matchup against Orianna, but I also feel like the bot lanes, it's going to be whichever one gets their ADC ahead first is going to be the winner. And it also depends on how many hooks Blitzcrank can land, because if Blitzcrank doesn't land his hooks, that bot lane's going to do nothing. In top lane, it's going to be mostly a farm fest, but Renekton is going to have a lot of early damage and pressure on Malphite. And TSM Batman, with his Zac, is probably going to be a little bit better than Foley on his Ivern, as far as comfort goes. So if I had to give it to a team off of draft right now, I would still probably give it to Final Esports, although not by much, because definitely 6 Longswords has done an amazing job. To minimize damage. Can I talk like Gnar the whole time, Dr. Nope? I don't think I could do it, but I could talk like Draven. That's somebody I can do. Worth. Definitely some miscommunication there from Draven's team. Yeah, my Draven voice is not good. Let's see. Who's one that I can do? Oh, you want me to do the movie announcer? In a world where 6 longswords has to beat Final Esports for redemption. That one could also be very hard. Perhaps I should just talk like Gollum the entire game. I just talks like it's my precious, and we'll have all the fun in the world. And if the Bidens lose, then we eat them whole. Yes, yes, we'll do Gollum. We'll do Gollum. And Smeagol, shut up. Okay, oh, shut up. Okay, here he goes into the loading screen, everybody. I'm waiting to announce people because I forget all their names. On the blue side for Final Sports, we'll have Herd and Rinroll in top lane, Tiss and Batman in the jungle, Minivan Dan at the middle, Django Optimus at ADC, and Nice Ram at support. And for 6 longswords, we'll have Herd Major Sparks in the top lane, Farley in the jungle, Last Marcis in mid, Crown Rend at ADC, and 7X Pandemonium X8 at support. Yes, left aid is casting, and that is my name on Discord. My name on Discord is Rallo DeBoer, but my lead name is left aid, and right aid is my Twitch name, because that was my old lead name. Long story short, I burned some bridges, had to change my name, and I'm also left-handed, so why would I be right-handed? I've seen pretty good start here. When the side of finalist force, they're going to give me my invade, as I do, and I'm starting to log them quite a bit. And we see the red side also pinging an invade. We're going to have a fight. It's going to be a huge fight. Here we go. Here we go. Here comes the Blitzcrank. Oh my goodness. And all of the jumps. And that is going to be the Blitzcrank's mana shield and his flash. As tries to escape. 30 seconds of minions burn. Alvaron's going to have to flash. Or they're not flashing forward. We have damage being dealt. No one's going to die. So lots of flashes everywhere. All the flashes in the world being blown. Lots of fun. Malphite wasn't there, he was terp. Silly fat herbalts. He was terp, he should have been with his team. Oh well, you know, whatever.
Minions have spawned.
Standard items for everybody. Malphite being there now with cloth armor and 4 parts. So a little different, but that's okay. He might just be evil wanting to kill the Renekton soon. That would be stupid, he would have gone Darkness Blade. Standard buff stats, we'll have Avern taking his blue, and Zac taking the red. Very normal. I should probably stop talking in this forest, otherwise I'll drive Gavin insane. Most likely. So I'll stop talking in this forest for now. Renekton, dealing good damage to the Malphite. and us seeing that after the first wave of minions, we have a slight lead, very slight lead in the bot lane, CS-wise to Lucian, as he was able to pick up all 6 minions, and Twitch, due to being late to lane from Lixing, was only able to pick up 3. So actually, slight CS leads in most lanes to the top of 6, or to the side of 6 longswords. The only lane that is at a disadvantage right now is top lane, but that's to be expected because Malphite's going to get poked out by Renekton very early. Sawa, I will take your energy. I will absolutely take your energy. Blitzcrank landing a hook there onto the Twitch, as Twitch is going to be forced to flash out to save his life. Lucian going to be dashing. Leona just counter engages there, keeping the EDC alive. We have Renekton taking a couple turret shots there, dropping a little lower than he probably would have liked. Maybe misjudging the turret range just a little bit on the Malphite. Blitzcrank still attempting to land those hooks. Or I'm sorry, CS advantages are still about the same. Except Malphite has been able to equalize his against the Renekton under turret. So this game a lot closer than the last one, as we have noticed everybody is a lot closer in CS. And we have Zac coming in for a gank on the bot lane. As he does jump in, he does miss the jump on the Lucian, and the Twitch going to be dragged under tower, but he is going to be able to heal, so he's not going to be first blood quite yet. Now he is. He's going to be first blood on the Lucian as he fires and pops TSM Batman's passive after he flashed. Blitzcrank, Lucian going to be dashing away, keep himself alive. Leona making sure that Zac is able to reform to more than half his health. And Zac going to be going in on the Blitzcrank, dealing a good amount of damage. Lots of flashes everywhere. Leona going to be backing off from the Lucian, keep herself alive. Very long fight bot lane, as it's still not over, as Blitzcrank is staying at low health. He is able to pull Zac under turret, but Zac is able to kill the Blitzcrank, but Blitzcrank does get a trade kill back onto Zac. Wow, a long fight bot lane that ends up in a 2-for-1 in the favor of 6 longswords. As both TSM Batman and Django did die in that fight. And on his back, Django was able to pick up at his death, Django was able to pick up a Vampiric Scepter and a Control Ward. Leona got Boots and a Rejuvenation Bead. Blitzcrank on his back, upgrading his Relic Shield to a Targon's Brace and getting Boots and a Control Ward. Lucian on his first back with his first Blood Gold, being able to pick up his Bilgewater Cutlass and Boots. So, good first back for him. Oriana's first back, she was able to get her Lost Chapter. And Zac, with his death, he was able to buy his Stalker's Blade. Ivern just completed his first back. Oh, and we have Blitzcrank hooking Leona in the bottom lane, putting her down to half health. Ivern on his first back was able to get his Crystalline Bracer, as well as his Boots. So he's looking to be warding and be a tank. Multiple pings of caution to the mid lane of 6 longswords as Zac does jump onto her. We have a good amount of trade going on down here. And that is going to be the kill for the Oriana on the Syndra, thanks to the Zac. We did have Django, Ultimus, die to the Lucian in the bot lane just a moment ago. So still pretty even. A very slight gold lead of about 200 to the side of 6 longswords. Most likely that gold lead being on the almost entirely on the Lucian. We have a hook onto the Leona. Lucian putting a good amount of damage in her. We have Zac hovering in the bot lane. He is spotted out in that Tri-Brush ward though. So Lucian and Blitzcrank will be playing accordingly. Meanwhile, Renekton backed and was able to complete his phage. Malphite getting a sheen on his back. So we see quite a few different starts. Django, for his death, he was able to buy his boots some speed on that by that death. So nothing too crazy really happening. Syndra, on her death, she bought Lost Chapter and boots. So since Orianna has not backed, Syndra will be coming back to lane with a slight item advantage, but she will be down a few CS. But she does also have blue buff, thanks to her jungle. After being able to give himself and an ally a copy of every single buff. Blitzcrank, oh my goodness, Django. Django just not having a good day. He got engaged on in bot, and he dropped very low. TSM Batman going to be having to bungee himself out of there with his jump. As Leona gets pulled right back in, Lucian going to be dropping her extremely low and killing her. Crown Rend be picking up his 3rd kill of the match on Leona. And we did see Ivern just steal the blue buff on the side of Final Esports. So much going on, so little places to do it, and that blue buff is going to go on to the Malphite, who is quite mana hungry at earlier levels. Actually, at all levels, really, if you spam his spells enough. And Lucian's going to be spending that gold by backing, as he still has a large CS lead over the ADC of Final Esports. Zach, when he backed, was able to buy a Bomby Cinder, so he will be going Cinder Hulk. Lucian, with that back, actually able to completely finish his Blade of the Ruined King, which is a very powerful item for Lucian nowadays with its changes of extra attack speed, extra lifesteal, extra damage, no active. Well, a much less powerful active in comparison to what it used to be. Twitch, however, on his back, only being able to pick up a longsword. Leona, for her death, she was able to pick up a Targon's Brace and a Ruby Crystal, as well as boots. While Blitzcrank was able to finish the Sightstone and start building some armor. So, still a pretty, still a lead on the side of 6 longswords, as they do have now almost a 2k gold lead. As Syndra gets free farm time here. Leona going to be dropped to under half health thanks to that Blitzcrank hook hitting. Blitzcrank going to be just over half health due to his armor, as well as just the fact that Twitch doesn't deal that much damage right now. Twitch trying to become relevant, but being unable to do so as he gets hooked. And he's going to be trying to flash out of there as he drops down under half health. This Blitzcrank's hooks have been on point. And Ivern sitting in the bot lane, going to go ahead and he's going to clear that ward, that control ward in the Tri-Brush. As Orianna begins to walk down, going to be warding that River Brush after seeing Ivern. And pinging out that he is not in the mid lane. But he is still bot lane, trying to make something happen, but unfortunately that will not be the case, as the bot lane does still have him spotted out down there by the river. TSM Batman making his presence known in mid lane, but not being able to do much about it. Malphite, having backed, has also got himself, he has combined his cloth armor into a glacial shroud, so he is going for an Iceborne Gauntlet for his first item. We see that Renekton has backed for his Kindle Gem, so he will be going Black Cleaver for his first item. Ivern, meanwhile, backed and was able to finish his redemption, while Syndra holds all of her components for her Morellonomicon, but not her Morellonomicon yet. Orianna has her Fiendish Codex and the Double Doran start. We do have a large fight bot lane breaking out, as we have Django Ultimatus going to be falling to Lucian, the Redemption going to be thrown down. Daisy as well, TSM Batman coming down, as well as a TP. There's going to be a 4-man bot here in just a second, as we have Lucian dashing away. And we have a TP coming down on the Daisy. We have Syndra as well. We just have a massive fight erupting down here in bot lane. Malphite going to be ulting away from that, as we have the Renekton falling to Crown Rend. The Syndra ult was used there, but did not pick up a kill. Holy crow. All the craziness happened there. In the end, it ends up being a 2-for-1 for the side of long swords. Blitzcrank falling in order to kill the top lane and ADC, and they are on Drake. TSM Batman going to be flying in, but Syndra going to be taking that dragon there, making sure that they get it. Blitzcrank going to be zoning off the rest of Team Final Esports, as Blitzcrank misses a hook, which is going to lead to his life, as Minivan Dan will pick up that kill. Crown Ren going to be picking up the kill on the Zac. Orianna going to be picking up the kill on the Ivern. Malphite taking down the Leona. Orianna getting the double kill on the Malphite. As Crown Ren, he's fighting maybe a little bit more than he can chew, and he will be, as Twitch is able to get in range of his E and just take him down. So, not a good fight there for 6 long swords, as it does become a 5-for-2, or 4-for-2, excuse me. Everyone but Yasmosis there dying in that fight for the side of 6 long swords, but 6 long swords was able to get the Infernal Drake. Is it worth? Maybe. But the gold lead has now shrunk to nothing. So, Final Esports definitely getting themselves back in that game with that fight. No longer having an advantage over Final Esports. So, do you see that happening?
Thank you, Lord.
Blue buff going to Lucian and not Syndra, and they are pinging MIA, and I am quite with them. I don't know why Lucian was the one who got the blue buff. Doesn't seem like a very good option. I mean, the Lucian can use a lot of mana, but certainly not near as much as Syndra, and getting the Syndra up at this point would be a very good use of your resources and time. Malphite, with his last death, he was able to pick up his Iceborne Gauntlet. However, Renekton is now starting to build his Mark Treads. Malphite doing a good job fighting the Renekton, as Ivern is going to be ganking. He is going to be, Renekton will be slowed. Ivern just barely missing that snare there. Renekton is going to have to ult. Daisy going to be dropped. Redemption going to be dropped on the side of 6 longswords. And Daisy and Ivern are going to leave, but TSM Batman might have something to say about that as he quickly wards up near the blue buff. And waits. Blue buff going to be going over to the Orianna. Oh no, Zac going to have to smite it to keep it from risking it going to the Malphite who was walking in. So Zac now with double buffs. Orianna going to be ulting there, but Malphite going to be ulting his way out of there. And Daisy will fall, unfortunately. But everyone going to be getting out of there safe. Except Yasmosis, who just got 5-man. But a day late and $1 short for the side of Final Esports as they were trying to push for the first turret. But Crown Rend and Pandemonium were able to get that first turret in bot lane just before. But that will be the outer middle following, and it looks like they are heading straight for Rift Herald, which would be something pretty good to have on their Renekton right about now. That is indeed what they will be doing. As 6 longswords ping it out and start moving towards it. Hopefully try and stop it. Malphite ult is unavailable at the moment. So they will be walking around. And it will be falling to... And it will be going on to the Renekton. As all of 6 longswords starts rotating top to try and defend this turret. Meanwhile, Renekton was able to buy his Black Cleaver on that back. Zac was able to finish his Cinderhulk and get a Spectre's Cowl as well as his Boots of Lucidity. Renekton also picking up his Merc Treads. Orianna picked up her Morellonomicon, as well as Sorcerer's Shoes, and she has a Blasting Wand. Twitch was able to get his Bork, a Zeal, Boots of Speed, and a Dagger, so he's got all those components for his Berserker's Greaves. We have Lucian with his Black Cleaver being completed, as well as Boots of Speed. And we have the Zac ulting Yasmosis again, going to be the victim of a 3 to 4 man gangbang in the mid lane, as he has just been killed multiple times. Oriana being used there, maybe a bit prematurely. Lucian going to be ulting, Redemption going down. Malphite ult being dropped. Daisy going to be coming in, as we see a very quick turn as TSM Batman jumps in to take down the Lucian. Now both teams very unsure going into full retreat, as we have Zac passive being popped and a teleport being used on the Zac to guarantee that he is resurrected by the Renekton. Good job on Renekton's part. So that is going to be a 2 for 0 in the favor of Final Esports. Blitzcrank going to be finishing off his Face of the Mountain with that death, as well as Ninja Tabby, and still building more health. Leona, meanwhile, also has her Face of the Mountain, her Boots of Mobility, and her Sightstone. So, Syndra having her Merilonomicon now. She is quite far behind the Oriana. She's about 5 kills behind. So, Oriana being able to pick up her Haunted Guise, so she will be heading towards her Leandry's Torment. Meanwhile, we have the Ivern and Lucian going probably a little too deep, as the Leona will be used, hitting a 3-man stun. TSM Batman going to be jumping in. Very well done there, as they quickly dash back under turret. Crown Ren going to be falling there. Oh my goodness, to TSM Batman, as with the Blitzcrank. Twitch going to be falling too, or Twitch going to be killing the Syndra, excuse me. Foley trying to solo defend this turret against 4 is not going to be, is most likely not going to happen. But he is able to shut down the Zac, and Oriana will be taking down Ivern, as Malphite looks to hopefully equalize turrets here. Or not equalize, but trade turrets, as the bot turret will fall to the 4-man assault of Final Esports. This game has absolutely shifted momentum at that dragon. From that dragon fight, the momentum of this game has shifted heavily now into Final Esports' hands, as they have almost a 5k gold lead now. Renekton being able to get his Tiamat on that last back, so he will be heading towards his Titanic Hydra. Malphite, meanwhile, only getting more armor, Ninja Tabby, as well as cloth armor and a ruby crystal, so most likely heading towards his Dead Man's Plate. He's just going to be trying to walk away from the Renekton here, most likely save his ult, but he might have to use it to get away. We do see that the Malphite and the Renekton going to be probably way too deep, as the Syndra ult is used, and Foley will be picking up that kill. The shield going down onto the Malphite, he will be ulting away. Minivan Dan going to be going godlike, killing the Blitzcrank there in that fight. The Oriana ult going to be used. Ivern shielding himself to try and prolong the inevitable as he jumps over the wall to safety. Very good job. TSM Batman going for it, however. Foley going to be able to shield himself. The Redemption going down. That will heal him just enough, keep him alive for now. Unfortunately, TSM Batman is going to slay the Osmosis in that fight. Wow, that will be a 2 for 1 in the favor of Final Esports in that fight. Very, very well fought fight on the part of Final Esports in the jungle, as it looked like the Renekton was going to be lost, and that 6 Longswords would be able to do nothing about it. Or excuse me, that that Final Esports would be able to do nothing about 6 Longswords killing him. But they were able to turn it around for 2 more kills on the Yasmosis and Pandemonium. And now that is going to result in a dragon for them, as they get a Cloud Drake. Oriana has completed her Leandry's Torment. Zac has completed his Spirit Massage. Ivern has meanwhile completed his Athene's Unholy Grail, and is working towards more magic resistance. Malphite has completed his Bomby's Cinder and his Chain Vest, so definitely heading towards not a Dead Man's Plate, but a Sunfire Cape. So you will have that very, very soon. Syndra working towards her Zonia's Hourglass as she continues to get blown up every fight. Her positioning just not seeming to be too good in these fights as she is constantly caught out again and again far away from her team. She seems to step up just too far in these fights and get herself killed. Meanwhile, we do see Final Esports is going to be collapsing on this team as they are looking for a fight. And the Leona ult will be used. TSM Batman going to be jumping in on the Ivern. The Orianna ult going to be used as well. Very good job. The redemption coming down, but it's not going to be enough. Minivan Dan is now legendary, taking down Crown Rent there. And that will be a very good engage on the part of Final Esports to take down Crown Rent. 6 longswords, most fed member. Orianna, good 3-person stun, but there's no follow-up, and this Syndra does not have enough damage for them to do anything about it. As we see Final Esports going to go ahead and start taking down this top turret very quickly, as they do have a lot of damage on their team. So this is a 5-man push in top right now on the side of Final Esports. Oh, Blitzcrank almost hitting that hook on Orianna. Would have certainly changed the tempo of the fight if that had connected. The Ivern Snare does hit Orianna, but was just outside their view, so they were not able to engage on that. As they move forward. Now definitely in full siege mode on the side of Final Esports, as they have now taken down almost all inner turrets. They are just trying to siege down the base of 6 longswords. As we see Zach going to be flashing out, Crown Rent going to have to just barely going to live as he tries to ult his way out, but no, that is not going to be enough. The Orianna ult damage being far too much. However, they will be trading back the Renekton kill. Ivern, that's going to be going to Ivern. TSM Batman, Minivan Dan, excuse me. TSM Batman diving in, but Minivan Batman going to be picking up the kill on the Malphite. Twitch going to be picking up the kill on the Ivern, but Ivern with the redemption kill on the Twitch. Zach going to be killing the Blitzcrank. Zach will be falling to minions, popping his passive. Zach, meanwhile, going to try and form himself back up, but yes, Moses will be getting the kill on TSM Batman there, as there was a TP available, but there was no Renekton available to save the Zach. So with that inhibitor, or with the inhibitor exposed in mid lane, we are going to see Final Esports just go ahead and back up, reset, take the blue, take some resources, and then head back. Head back by, get their team together, probably take Baron, and then move forward to end the game. We did see Renekton. He has completed his Titanic Hydra. Zach has completed a Guardian Angel, so he will now be even harder to kill. Orianna has her Needlessly Large Rod and Aether Wisp, so heading towards Luden's Echo, but doesn't have it quite yet. Twitch has his Runaan's Hurricane and his Berserker's Greaves, as well as BF Swords, so probably heading for an Infinity Edge or a Bloodthirster, one of the two. Lucian still with very little in the line of extra damage, has his Zeal and his Ninja Tabby. Pandemonium getting caught out big time there. He should not have been there without his team. Minivan Dan gonna pick up that kill as TSM Batman jumps on him. And that was a 4 against 1. Blitzcrank, what were you thinking, man? Just ward and go. And Baron is going to be started up on the side of Final Esports. They are going to melt through that. Honestly, there is no response from 6 longswords at this point. So this is going to be a very easy Baron for Final Esports here. And they will pick that up very quickly. So now as they move forward, they look like they're going to just head straight to top lane and push it down. As 4 with Renekton pushing down mid. We do have the Blitzcrank has completed a redemption as well, so we have a redemption on the side of 6 longswords. As well as Ivern picking up Aegis of the or Lock of the Iron Solari, so he is going to be able to shield quite well. We have a bit of trading happening between the Malphite and the Leona. Nothing's really going to come from that. Renekton still split pushing mid. He has brought the minions to the base of the side of 6 longswords as they start hitting the inhibitor and burning that down very quickly with the Baron empowered minions as they walk into the base. Probably looking for a team fight to just turn it all and end it. Although Malphite doing an extreme amount of damage, Lucian going to be, or Crownman going to be taking down Ultimus, Renekton going to be taking down the Syndra. We have the Lucian going to be winning this act at this point. The GA is not going to be popped. However, this is a very good fight so far for the side. Yes, and that is going to be the Renekton falling. Oh, Final Esports turning that with that Orianna. Oh, wow, very well done there. As Crown Rend will fall to Minivan Dan, who is still legendary at this point in time. Leona charging forward, attempting to get the kill there. That is not going to happen. It is a 2 for 2. I would say definitely in the favor of Final Esports as they were able to take down both carries. 6 longswords, almost making a considerable amount of ground back there, but it won't be the case as Final Esports looks to take down the dragon. A mountain dragon here at this point would be very good for them, and they do kill it. So now they're going to be taking objectives even quicker. Syndra, with that death, was able to complete her Zhonya's Hourglass. She is now working towards an Abyssal Scepter. We do see Lucian with a completed Phantom Dancer, and is looking at what would seem to be a Hex Drinker with his Null Magic Resist and Longsword. Orianna completing her Luden's Echo, as well as having a Blasting Wand. Twitch having his pickaxe now, as well as his BF sword, so that will be heading towards an Infinity Edge and not a Bloodthirster. And here we go as the engage comes down on the side of TSM Batman onto Crown Rend. Crown Rend dropping extremely low. He is going to be dying there. Django Ultimus is going to be dropping low from Hold My Juice Box's Constant Barrage, but his armor is no match for Orianna's burst damage or TSM Batman's burst damage, as they are magic damage. Surprise, Malphite. Welcome to the real world. He goes down. Foley going to be falling under turret to Renekton. As Syndra and Blitzcrank try to defend this inner turret, it's not going to happen. Renekton's on the inhibitor turret. That's going to be falling very shortly. As well as the rest of Final Esports are taking down the bottom inhibitor turret. That will fall as well. Now they're onto the bottom inhibitor. Baron buff has expired now, but Final Esports does not need it at this point. As they take down the bottom inhibitor, they have super minions on the Nexus turrets. Minions are in the base. Can 6 longswords save it here? I don't know. They still have 1 Nexus turret remaining. Leona ult is used. It does not hit a target. Blitzcrank hook almost hits. Syndra looking for something there, but there is no follow-up available. As Final Esports are looking to push in and end. Will they be able to, though? Crown Rend going to have to dash. That is a 4-man Orianna ult. As Zach ults, Crown Rend going to be falling very quickly to the Renekton. That was an amazing Orianna ult. Minivan Dan is legendary. He will be taking down the Malphite. Unbelievable. Twitch just spray and pray, and Renekton going to be getting the double kill onto the Ivern. TSM Batman still alive in that fight. Unbelievable that he didn't die there. So that is a 3 for 0 on the side of Final Esports. Final Esports going to be showing why they're the #1 team in their division, as well as potentially the #1 team in the entire competition, as they take down 6 longswords with a 13k gold lead by the end of that. Double the kills, all of the towers. However, it was not as commanding of a lead as the last game, and it did look like 6 longswords were going to put up a fight. Unfortunately, that 1 dragon fight did swing the entire pace of the game into Final Esports' hands, and they were able to pull it back and win it. What an amazing last fight there with that 4-man Orianna Shockwave ult, as well as the TSM Batman immediate follow-up with his jump and ult. Absolutely amazing fight. definitely the victors. To the victor go the spoils. Absolutely well deserved, well fought. Great job, Final Esports. Good night, everybody.